I have an adult relationship with Soon-yi, to those people who feel they want to feel that way about it. Back in 1992, both Hollywood and the whole world got totally shocked when a big secret came out. Woody Allen, the super-talented Hollywood director, was found to be in love with his girlfriend's adopted daughter, Soon-yi Previn. That same year, Dylan Farrow, another one of Mia Farrow's adopted kids, spoke up and said Woody did bad things to her. With everyone criticizing him so hard, Woody Allen stayed completely quiet. He was set on marrying Soon-yi soon, not caring about all the judging looks or the whispers from people everywhere. But behind those strong choices was a story full of real hurt and hard times that only Soon-yi could really understand. She had gone through emotional pain that most people can't even picture, and then she gave her whole heart to this man, seeing it as both love and a way to be saved. But that marriage wasn't easy at all. It turned into a private nightmare that kept hurting Soon-yi. For many years she stayed quiet, living under all the gossip, carrying those memories of people judging her and doubting her. And only now, taking a deep breath, does Soon-yi feel brave enough to pick up those broken memories and tell her own real truth. What really happened deep inside that father-daughter kind of relationship? The only way to know is by listening to Soon-yi Previn's full story. It's a tale that's both sad and really heavy, like It's Hard to Breathe. To get Soon-yi's story, you have to look at her husband and the man who was like a father figure, Woody Allen. He was the perfect example of a genius who was weird but also really interesting. From his early days in show business, he stood out because of his smart mind, special kind of funny, and amazing skills at writing and directing. That talent made people in the arts love him, but it also made his private life full of mysteries. Woody was married once to Holleen Rosen when he was super young, then to actress Louise Lasser. Those were short marriages that left people wondering about how stable he was in relationships. Later, his big famous romance with Diane Keaton went on for years without getting married, showing even more how he handled love. It was passionate and not normal, always leaving complicated feelings behind. The people who loved him had to deal with this mix, pulled in by his brains and class, but shocked by his wild actions. After years of playing around with lots of short romances with tons of women, Woody Allen suddenly stopped at Mia Farrow, the woman who really made his heart beat fast. Everyone thought this would be the final stop for the genius director. But really, it was just the start of huge private storms where love, power, and family secrets crashed together hard. In 1979, Woody Allen and Mia Farrow met for the first time at a famous restaurant in Manhattan. It looked like a random meet-up, but it was meant to happen. Mia Farrow had been married before and was raising a bunch of kids, some she had herself and some she adopted. Woody, who had just split from Diane Keaton, got pulled in by her mix of being fragile but strong. They started going out by the end of that year. Woody asked Mia to watch the Knicks games, then walk in Central Park, and after that came quiet dinners. Just 1 year later in 1980, they made their relationship official, romantic but kind of strange, mixing love, family, and work. Woody and Mia's love turned into working together on art fast. Starting in 1982, Mia acted in movies that Woody directed, from A Midsummer Night's sex comedy to lots more after that. Over about 10 years, they made 13 films together. Each one felt like a look into their inner feelings, love, and being alone. Woody seemed to find in Mia not just a girlfriend, but someone who sparked his creativity, while Mia got to step into a deep artistic world and still stay close to her big family. But that was it. For 12 years together, they never lived in the same house, hardly ever stayed over at each other's places more than a few times, and they definitely didn't get married. Woody had a fancy penthouse on the east side of Manhattan. Mia lived in an apartment on Central Park West with the kids, plus a place called Frog Hollow in Connecticut. He said straight up, "I don't believe in marriage." She answered, "I've had 2 marriages that didn't work. I don't need papers anymore." Woody paid for Mia's rent and the kids' school, but he never legally said any of her adopted kids, including Soon-yi Previn, were his. In the mid-1980s, Mia and Woody's family grew in a weird way. In 1985, Mia adopted Dylan Farrow. Then 2 years later in 1987, she had a son with Woody named Satchel, who later became known as Ronan Farrow. Their love and sharing the kids made a strange but loving family. They raised and taught different kids, connected by love and art, but never married or lived together. But the base of their relationship wasn't strong anymore. By the late 1980s, things started looking shaky. Woody got more distant, and hidden fights started building up. They still showed up in films together and handled family stuff. But quiet tension kept growing. A love story everyone thought was perfect started showing small cracks that no one wanted to talk about straight on. Everything blew up at the worst time when the biggest scandal in Woody Allen's life hit. It was like an earthquake ripping apart the family, what people thought, and the perfect image he had built so carefully. The dark change came at the end of 1991 when Woody started a relationship with Soon-Yi Previn, Mia's adopted daughter. This happened right after Woody had adopted Dylan and another kid, and Soon-Yi was still young, about 21. From being a shy girl, Soon-Yi started dressing in a bold way, acting like someone in a secret romance, often saying she was with friends when she was really meeting Woody secretly. The secret stayed hidden for months, but what it was completely shook the relationship that seemed okay, setting up the bad stuff coming. Everything stayed calm until December 1991. Soon-Yi, 21, a first-year student at Drew University. Woody, 56. They slept together for the first time in his penthouse while he was still officially her mom's boyfriend. Woody said later, "It was a terrible mistake, but I couldn't stop myself, and what had to happen happened." In January 1992, a big shock broke everything for Mia Farrow and Woody Allen. While visiting Woody's Manhattan apartment, Mia found a bunch of nude Polaroid photos and right away knew they were of Soon-Yi Previn, her adopted daughter. The shock hit Mia so hard it felt like her heart stopped. The pictures were sexy and suggestive, totally different from how she saw her daughter. In that second, all the trust and safety in the family she tried to make disappeared. The betrayal felt so huge that Mia acted fast. She took the photos, left the apartment quick with shaking hands, unable to stay calm. When she got back, she yelled, "Woody, what have you done to my daughter?" Her voice was full of anger, shock, and feeling lost. In one moment, the love and family they thought was solid fell apart. That same day, Mia called Woody Allen to face him. She told him straight that she found the photos, told him to leave the family, and stop being around the kids. Woody tried to explain. "Mia, I love you. I don't know what to do." But everything was okay from both sides. Mia stopped him, her voice strong. "Stop lying. You're not part of this family anymore." Her anger made Woody quiet, and he knew the trust was gone for good. From January 15th to 20th, Woody sent flowers and apology letters by hand over and over, but Mia sent them all back unopened. Ned. Soon-Yi moved into a separate apartment that Woody rented for her in Manhattan. Mia wrote a 5-page letter by hand to Woody, made copies, and gave it to all the older kids so they knew what that man did to their sister. She hired one of New York's best divorce lawyers, Elkin Abramovitz, right away to get ready for a fight over the kids that no one thought would last so long and be so mean. Soon after, Mia ended her 12-year relationship with Woody. They didn't live together anymore and almost stopped talking completely. The whole thing shocked Hollywood and people all over the world, not just because of cheating, but because being with an adopted kid broke normal rules about love, family, and being responsible. The kids, who grew up in an artistic but steady home, suddenly saw a terrible scandal. In August 1992, Woody Allen hit back in a surprise way. He went to the New York Supreme Court and asked for full custody of the 3 kids he saw as his, Dylan, Satchel, and Moses. Woody said coldly that he was never a father or stepfather to Soon-Yi, that he never lived with Mia or ran that family. For him, the only weird part was the bond between Soon-Yi and Mia, something even he had trouble explaining to everyone. Things got worse as Woody called Mia a bad mother, saying she hurt the kids' feelings, liked her own kids more, and even made up abuse stories to get back at Soon-Yi. Mia answered right away. The custody fight started for real, turning into the most expensive and famous family mess of the 20th century. On March 19, 1993, the trial started in Manhattan with Judge Elliot Wilk in charge. No jury, just the judge, and 7 weeks straight of high tension. More than 30 people spoke as witnesses, nannies, therapists, friends, and even Mia's older kids. The courtroom felt like a movie scene. Woody had famous lawyer Alan Dershowitz with him, Mia had tough divorce lawyer Eleanor Alter. Both sides showed tapes, letters, receipts, photos. Woody gave proof that Mia called him at midnight screaming, "I will kill you." Mia showed recordings of her begging him to drop the case because she was scared of losing the adopted kids. But a big change happened during the trial. The main focus came when Dylan said Woody Allen touched her in a bad way. Dylan Farrow, Mia's adopted daughter who was 7 then, told how one afternoon at their Connecticut summer house, Woody took her to the attic, said to play with toys, and then touched her wrong. At the same time, lots of odd things about how Woody acted as a parent came out. He often put Dylan on his lap when he had just underwear on, put too much sunscreen, shared beds, kissed on the mouth, took private photos. Satchel's therapist said Woody was full of himself, not caring, and had no boundaries. On the other side, Woody said Mia hit Soon-Yi, used a belt on Moses, liked her real kids more, and called the adopted ones trash. Moses, who was 15, spoke in court and said straight, "I don't want to see him again. He ruined my sister's childhood." On June 7,